Pakistan in the United Kingdom, Mr. Muhammad Salim Parvez, one of the author, Alim Bhai's biography. The other senior author, Dr. Khadim Baloch, couldn't make it due to ill health. He's here in the UK, but he couldn't make it. The third gentleman who contributed a lot towards this biography is Najm Latif, who is based in Lahore. Obviously, he couldn't make himself available. Mr. Asif Iqbal, former Test cricketer and captain Pakistan team. Mr. Alim-ud-din, brother of late Alim-ud-din, sitting on your right, sir. Mr. Riaz-ud-din, nephew of late Alim-ud-din. Members of the family of Alim-ud-din. He is popularly known as Alim Bhai. So if I once in a while use that term, please pardon me for being that one-to-one. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and assalamu alaikum. On behalf of the authors of Alim Bhai's biography, it is my proud privilege to welcome you all today here in this evening. I will not take much of the time because we wanted to be precise on timing, so I'll invite our chief guest, His Excellency Sayyid Ibn Abbas, to deliver his address of welcome. Sayyid Ibn Abbas.
Thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and very good evening to you all. I also like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you here at the High Commission this evening, because I think this is a great honor and privilege for me personally and for the High Commission that we have stars like Asif Iqbal Saab amongst us this evening, and we have the family of late Alim-ud-din Saab, who is the star of the evening, of course, tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not be saying too much, because I think this is a star-studded evening in the sense that we would like to hear from the people who are men of action. We are, we'll just go on, giving you the boring speeches to you. But having said that, I would say that it's very appropriate time for the book launch this evening, as we all know that we are in the middle of the World Cup. But lesser said the better. I'm sure Alim-ud-din Saab soul must be also a little worried कि ये क्या हो रहा है. But yes, these ups and downs आते रहते हैं. Cricket, as you know, it's a passion for all of us, for all Pakistanis, and I think it's not only a passion, but I think in this day and age, it's a unifying force also, because you'll be surprised when I say unifying force in the sense, because whenever we have our differences on many other things, but when it comes to cricket, I think the entire nation gets united. So I think this is a platform which unites the entire nation. And I have seen when we were through very difficult times, be it natural calamities or otherwise. So whenever we have won the cricket match, be it one day or 2020 or a 5-day test match, it brought smiles on the faces of people. So I think this is a great game. We would very much appreciate, that the spirit of the cricket keeps going on. But in my reckoning, and Asif Iqbal Saab and the family of the late great cricketer would, prove that or endorse that it's a game of gentlemen. इसमें बहुत से असूल और इसमें बहुत से principles होते हैं. So I think if it's a gentleman's game, it's a game which imbibes some morals into one person. That much we should always welcome, we should appreciate, and we should pass it on to our next generation. Because it's not only a sports, as I said, it's a unifying force for the country. It's a great sport, but at the same time, the things which come with that, we should also respect those. So I would not go in details of those, but I think till the time we were respecting those, Asif Iqbal Sahab samne tashrif rakhte hain. So we were the favorites, and we were on the top. And mind you, sports have always brought laurels to us, be it cricket, be it hockey, be it squash. And I have had the honor of meeting personally the two greats, Hashim Khan Sahab in US before he passed away. And I also have the honor and privilege of serving under the skipper, all of you know, Kardar Sahab. He was my ambassador in Switzerland, but that's about 30 years ago. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's a great that you are all here for cricket, and I'm so privileged and welcome the family of late Alim-ud-din Sahab, and I also extend a very warm welcome to all of them. I wish he would have been with us on this very historic day and moment, because his book is being launched. Although I didn't have a chance to read the book, I'm sure it's going to be an eye-opener for all of us, because that was the cricket which we grew up with. Inshallah, we'll get back on the track soon, and we will bring those the cricket glory days back sooner than later. With this, I would request all the people who are engaged with the cricket here that, sir, please, my request to all of you, Asif Saab and all others who are who are passionate about cricket, कि please इस cricket को हमारी youth में भी ज़रूर introduce करिए, क्योंकि this was a game which was, जिससे मैंने अर्ज़ किया कि unite भी करती थी, इससे जो अच्छे morals और principles भी flow करते थे, but इसके चले जाने से बहुत सी चीज़ें जा रही हैं. तो let's keep up with those traditions, let's revive those traditions, and inshallah I'm sure कि we will keep doing whatever at our end. मैं बल्कि आज ही कह रहा था, because of this book launch, I had requested some of our colleagues that we should have that the High Commission team revived, and we will start cricketing, as soon as the season sets in, we'll start the cricketing, matches with other high commissions or the FCO or whosoever. Because sports में बहुत सी चीज़ें हैं जो हम सीखते हैं, but we do not realize. So with this, I once again welcome you all. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and honor to be amongst you on this very important event. I once again extend a very warm welcome to the family of Alim-ud-din Sahab. And with this, I would say, I hand over to the next speaker, which will be really giving you some good insight into the game and the greats. I had only very, very mediocre things to share. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. You have been very elaborate, yet very brief. The things that the game has always taught us, and which is of yesteryears, still remains a reminder to all of us. That's where the gentleman game has to come back again, not only to Pakistan, but the world over. Maybe test matches where there was discipline. Maybe the one day and the T20s is becoming more of a fanfare rather than the game, which brought discipline into it. But we do cherish those moments of discipline and also of glory. Before I invite the next speaker, who's basically Dr. Khadim Hussain Baloch, who was the senior author of this book, couldn't make it, I'll be inviting the next author. But before I do that, the author has received some messages from elsewhere. And one of the major messages which I think values most is the chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board, Nawabzada Shahryar Khan, a former senior and seasoned diplomat. He has extended his apology for not being able to make it to the occasion because of prior commitments. But he has sent the following message, and I quote, "I appreciate the noble efforts of putting together of Alim-ud-din's biography by the trio, Dr. Khadim Baloch, Mr. Salim Parvez, and Najm Latif. Alim-ud-din's contribution to Pakistan cricket must essentially be a valuable study for the young generation of cricketers. More so because we are still trying to find an opening pair with a straight bat. That's what the title of the book is. We are still trying to find that. Alim-ud-din paired with Hanif Muhammad. And I'm pleased to say that Hanif Muhammad, his daughter and his son-in-law, is here to honor, and he sent a message of greetings. We have others also been extending good wishes. Tex Dexter, former England captain. Robin Marler, senior cricket journalist. Other cricketers, former cricketers, namely Hanif Muhammad, Ikram Ilahi, Wazir Muhammad, Wasim Bari. All have sent their best wishes on this occasion. I'll now request our friend and the author of this document, Muhammad Salim Parvez, to address the distinguished gathering. Mr. Muhammad Salim Parvez.
Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all. I'm so pleased to see some relaxed faces. And this is due to Pakistan doing slightly better than last week in the World Cup. So it's good to see you all. Alim Bhai, as we normally call him and respect him through that, his story was quite a challenge for me because his cricket had finished by the time I was born. So I had to rely quite a lot on Dr. Khadim Baloch and Najm Latif Saab. And we hope we've done justice to his personality and his cricket achievements. The need for Alim Bhai's story to be documented, very valid point. The reason being, he grew up in Ajmer, and even just before in his teenage, he was good enough to represent two teams in the Ranji Trophy, and this is Rajputana and Gujarat, which is a major achievement for a boy growing up in Ajmer from a Muslim family. Huge achievement. And later on, he represented Muslims as well in pentangular cricket, which is again a huge achievement. And obviously, Alim Bhai's life story also reflects the struggle of, at the time of the partitions, and especially for people who had to migrate and leave their home country. So there was a struggle as well. I personally got to know Alim Bhai better in his last 4 or 5 years. And this was the time when we had long conversations, and he clearly showed inclination of a document, his life to be documented. And that's how we started our book project. So this was initiated by Alim Bhai himself, which was a great privilege for me. And great privilege in the sense that he was one of Pakistan's players present at the Oval when we achieved that great victory against England. Apart from that, it was very interesting to hear his stories from the days when some of the traveling was done through sea, especially when the Pakistan team traveled to SS Batori from Karachi to England, and later on to the West Indies. They went by sea as well, partly air, partly sea. So it was always it was a great pleasure to hear those stories from such a knowledgeable man. During our conversation, I felt Alim Bhai wanted us to understand the healthy rivalry that has existed from day one between Punjab and Karachi. And he never shied away from the fact that unless you work together, you can't achieve much. And most of his best cricket was played under two of the captains from Punjab, Mian Muhammad Saeed and Abdul Hafiz Qadar, which shows the fact that Alim Bhai was right on the point. From my point of view, it's been a real privilege to associate myself with a past cricket hero. And we had such a good support from his friends and the cricket circles, and obviously their family. And I hope we are able to produce more books on the same lines. And we can, through these publications, we can acknowledge the joyful contribution of the Pakistanis to the world of cricket. And long it may continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Salim. I'll now invite skipper Asif Iqbal to say a few words. Skipper Asif Iqbal.
Excellency, Alim Bhai's family and guests. I think to celebrate the life of Alim Bhai is something which I think the family members, especially Salim, with whom I have played cricket, he'll probably be able to talk more about it, but I can only celebrate the part that I spent with him, which is the cricketing part. The first time I met Alim Bhai was, I'm sure not many of you know about this, was in a place called Hyderabad, Deccan in India. And he was a member of the Pakistan team. Fazil Mahmood was the captain. And as a schoolboy, I think I was 16 years or 17 years old, I remember playing against him. And I don't know whether you'll all be surprised or whether you'll think I may be crazy, but the thing I remember about him from those days till the end was his immaculate dressing. He probably wasn't as good a player as he was. He was always immaculately dressed. And I played against him, and I think I may have even got him out. But when I migrated to Pakistan after that tour, and those are the days that really Alim Bhai helped me in becoming a test cricketer and sort of playing for Pakistan by advising me. The two things I remember from him: first, when he said that you are too frail, in his own way, he tried to be funny. In Hyderabadi language, he said, "Miyan, tum bahut duble patle hain, bowling nahi kar sakoge. So you have to concentrate on batting and fielding." This was the advice he gave me when I landed in Karachi. And by the grace of God, I did manage to play for the country, and I did manage to play as a batsman towards the end of my career. And then Alim Bhai was living here. I think it was on one of the flights that I came and landed at Heathrow, and I met him there. And I don't know what brought this memory to him. And he said, "Aapko yaad hai, main bola tha, bowler nahi ban sakte the aap. Aap batsman hi bane phir." So, these are a couple of things which I remember of him, which was very nice of him. This is not the time nor the place to talk about many things which the High Commissioner mentioned, because I think cricket is, without any doubt, is a sport which, not just in Pakistan, but in the subcontinent, it's really like religion. And it's no longer a sport, it's an industry. And yes, it can be used for harboring good relations between the two neighbors, which we are always sort of said, cricketing diplomacy, which we have been talking about. But sir, I think you are in a position better than the cricketers to do something about it. And the one idea which you just floated about having the High Commissioner's team, I think there's a gentleman sitting here who can help you in that, Shahid Sadullah. He used to play for the High Commission team, and I think he can be of help to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Asif. I thought you would be throwing a challenge. The RY's team versus the High Commission team for the first match. But you didn't. Obviously, you thought about it. We'll probably go and speak to the skipper there. We'll now invite Mr. Salim-ud-din, brother of Alim Bhai, to say a few words about Alim Bhai as a family man and as a brother. Mr. Salim-ud-din.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for coming here, giving you a special time for this occasion. Myself and my family would like to thank all of you to be up here. And also, I'd like to thank Salim, Parvez, Dr. Baloch, and Najam to writing this book and putting it up there for all of us to see what it's all about. Alim Bhai was a kind gentleman, loving person, and also he had three loves in his life. One thing is cricket, second thing is his family, and third thing is clothing. He used to like his clothes. Alim Bhai had a life, I can only describe one way, that there was a time very different. When he was growing up, he was a young boy. We were living in Ajmer. And he used to go around watching cricket at Mayo College. When he used to go there, he used to see all the boys who come from royal families, Rajas, Maharajas, princes, and he used to play around with them. And he learned that how they used to dress up, how they used to approach each and everything in cricket as well as in life. Then my father, who was an electrical engineer, and we lived very near to Mayo College, he gave both of my brothers, Alim-ud-din, both of them, the opportunity to live the way the other half was living there. Eventually he grew up and he went away to Bombay, and he met a lot of famous cricketers there. One of them was Vinu Mankad, Vijay Hazare, Umrikar, Phadkar, and all these people, and they have guided him. Then the time came when he was very young, when he needed guidance himself. The partition came into being, and then all things broke up. We all know what happened there. The country broke into two halves, and then we had to leave Ajmer, living in a comfortable life, and my brother Alim had to leave Bombay. They came to Karachi. So when they arrived in Karachi, there was nothing for them. My father, who was electrical engineer, he lived comfortable life. We have a lovely home, everything there. And then we had to leave everything, and we came to Pakistan with nothing. End of the day, when my father came, who has no job, no home, nothing at all, small children, and all the responsibilities on him. And he had to do whatever best he could. And he took the half of the family to one place in Hyderabad somewhere, and then left myself, my sister, and my other brother for Alim Bhai and my Azim Bhai to look after three of us. So all his time has spent looking after us when he needed looking after himself. And I cannot thank enough the guidance and supervision he has provided to us over the years. And because of his guidance, because of his hard work, because what he's done for us, all our family are very grateful to him for what he's done for us. He was not actually a brilliant cricketer. He was a lovely man, loving man, and he was very sincere in what he used to do. He has some lovely friends as well. I cut the story short now because I can go on and on. It'll be all days here. But I can go on to just say that he has given me opportunity to be, I'm in England, I'm playing cricket. I played cricket and I played professionally, and Asif and myself have played together here as well. And I like to thank everybody who came here and given this occasion to what it is now. We are all enjoying that. And I hope this whole thing will be successful. And again, I like to thank all the people who came here today on behalf of my family, my brothers and my sisters, my nephews and nieces, my daughter is here. And thank you very much for all of you to come. And
thank you, Salim Bhai. Thank God you cut it short, otherwise you're getting into the emotional side of it. That would have been. I'll now request Mr. Riaz-ud-din, nephew of Aleem Bhai, who's recently flown in from US for this special occasion. Mr. Riaz-ud-din.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. Thanks for coming in here. And I'd like to share a few things about my uncle. I don't want to go in details like Salim Bhai did. I want to be very brief. We all gather here for honor, a memory of a true gentleman in the world of cricket who has left behind a legacy that touched so many people's heart. There are so many, for those who know Alim-ud-din, when we think of him, not as an achievement, but we think of him as a gentleman, has a charisma, and has a demeanor, a classic, strong gentleman. And one thing I remember about him, being a very helpful gentleman, when he used to work for PIA in London Heathrow, he used to bring along a lot of people to our house without even informing my aunt, Bilkis. Even they don't have a hotel or a food, he used to bring along and have them stay with us the whole night. So that kind of person he was, and he's always loved the cricket. And the other thing about him, he lived his life a fullest, and he always loved the music. Talat Mahmood, Mukesh, and Rafi, a passion, and used to have a musical night. Friends come over to our house. He may have a bachelor all his life, but he was a family man. A person who could not view our uncle but a second father. He was treated me and my sibling a very own children. It is bond that brought us so close together. When my father passed away, he came along and supported me and my whole family. And he provided us the strength and keep living, and that kind of a man that Alim-ud-din was. I wish he could have been alive to see this day today. Even I could not have ever fathomed to see this memory and honor like this. I can just feel how proud he must have feel while he's looked down on us today. I would like to thank especially Dr. Khadim Baloch, Salim Parvez, and Najam Latif, who has done a tremendous job. Without them, this wouldn't have been possible. Thank you very much. Have a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Tahir Mehman. Without you, we wouldn't have been sitting here tonight. Thank you.
All efforts by the trio, the authors. I am just there to link you up with each other. We missed two authors here. Dr. Khadim Baloch, who is here in UK and couldn't make it because of ill health. But he has definitely sent a representative. And I'd like to invite that representative to say a few words to us. Dr. Abdullah Hood Bhai. He is representing Dr. Khadim Baloch. Mr. Abdullah Hood Bhai, please come and say a few words.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Your Excellency, Alim-ud-din's family, it's a privilege to be here to say just a few words about Alim-ud-din. My first memories are of 1958, when Alim and Hanif opened for Pakistan. And for those who may not know, there used to be a ladies' enclosure. वहाँ पर से किसी ने कहा कि अगर अलीम ने आज 100 बनाया तो मुझसे शादी कर लूँगी. The next time I met Alim-ud-din was at Heathrow Airport. I am here to apologize on behalf of Khadim Baloch, who I have known since 1962, and that's why I'm wearing this tie, because this is from LMC, where I first met him. Although he was born in Karachi, I was born in Karachi, but that's the first time we met in 1962. और उस वक्त खादिम जो था, he was well placed in cricket, and he recognized my talent as an open bat also. And I played quite a bit for LMC. Khadim has been a fanatic of cricket, as almost everybody would know. He has a collection of memorabilia which I doubt if any Pakistani has at home. Asif Iqbal would probably be proof of that. He, in fact, asked me to go over some scripts that he had written for the books. The book that comes to my mind straight away, along with Salim, is the Encyclopedia of Pakistan Cricket. If there is anybody who wants to know about Pakistan cricket, I would certainly refer that book to them. Khadim is way, way above me. I can't fill his shoes, but I'm here to apologize on his behalf, as he could not be here today, much as he would have liked to, because of his ill health. Thank you very much for joining this evening and paying tribute to a great cricketer, Alim-ud-din. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Abdullah Hood Bhai. You said so much in such a short time. But I must say that you too have cricket in your blood. That's how you talked about the archive and the history of it. I think this is the only game which has so much of historic recording, from stats down to archives, collection of ties, collection of ball, bats, and you name it. And I don't see there is any other game which has so much of collection and history behind. And that is a rich thing. Like I remember, there is a sparrow there in the Lords, which was hit by Dr. Jahangir Khan. Now these are the things which no other game could give you, and which takes you back to the nostalgic thing about being a gentlemanly game where you preserve everything, where you record everything. And this book, I'm sure, will go a long way in that area. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of a very brief, yet very informative and interesting talks. I don't think anybody has any complaint of being lengthy and boring and all that sort of thing. There are a few thoughts that it will be probably taking us to a few hours to it, but nevertheless. On behalf of the authors, I wish to thank you all for taking out time to remember a great cricketer of his time, a gentleman in true sense of the word, Mr. Alim-ud-din, Alim Bhai, to all of us. I take this opportunity to thank Pakistan High Commission, His Excellency Sayyid Ibn Abbas, who took out time out of his busy schedule for us, Mr. Munir Ahmed, the erstwhile press attaché, and the staff of Pakistan High Commission for not only allowing this event to take place here at the High Commission, but assist us in organizing in a very befitting manner. I thank you all. Alim Bhai's biography is available here on the premises, and I'm sure author, now it's only one here, authors and the family members will be too glad to autograph it for you. Thank you very much for giving your time to us. Thank you.
Anybody has asked you